Good morning. This story is for Stanley, who is one of my mini wild rangers, and it is from the Nursery Treasury storybook, and it's called Jack and the Beanstalk. There we are. This is the story of how Jack did a silly thing, but all was well in the end. Jack and his mother were very poor, and there came a sad day when there was no money left. So Jack was told to take the cow to market to sell her. As Jack led the cow to market, he met a funny little man with a tall feather in his hat. "And where might you be going with that fine-looking cow?" the funny little man asked. Jack explained, and the little man swept off his hat with the tall feather and shook out 5 coloured beans. "Well, young Jack, I can save you a journey. I will give you these 5 magic beans in exchange for your cow." Now Jack should have realised that this was rather all odd, for how did the funny little man know his name? But once he heard the word magic, he didn't stop to think. He took the beans at once and gave the funny little man the cow and ran off home to his mother. "Jack, you are a complete fool. You have exchanged our fine cow for 5 worthless beans." She flung the beans out of the window and sent Jack to bed without any supper. When he woke in the morning, Jack couldn't understand why it was so dark in the cottage. He rushed outside to find his mother staring in amazement at the most enormous beanstalk that reached right up into the clouds. "I told you they were magic beans," smiled Jack, and without any hesitation he began to climb the beanstalk. He climbed and he climbed until he could no longer see the ground below. When he reached the top, there stood a vast castle. Jack knocked at the door, and it was opened by a huge woman. "My husband eats little boys for breakfast, so you better run away quickly," she said to Jack. But before Jack could reply, the ground started to shake and tremble. "Too late," said the giant's wife. "You must hide." She bundled Jack into a cupboard. Jack peeped through the keyhole and saw the most colossal man. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman," he roared. "Don't be silly, dear. You can smell the sausages I have just cooked for your breakfast," said the giant's wife, placing a plate piled high with fat, juicy sausages in front of him. The giant did not seem to have very good table manners, as he soon gobbled the lot. Then he poured a great big bag of gold onto the table and counted out all the coins. With a smile on his big face, he soon fell asleep. Jack darted out of the cupboard, grabbed the bag of money and ran out of the kitchen. He slithered down the beanstalk as fast as he could, and there, standing at the bottom, was his mother. She was amazed when she saw the gold. Jack's mother bought the 2 new cows, and she and Jack were very content now they had plenty to eat. But after a while, Jack decided he would climb the beanstalk again. The giant's wife was not very pleased to see him. "My husband lost a bag of gold the last time you were here," she muttered, looking closely at Jack. But then the ground began to shake and tremble, and Jack hid in the cupboard again. The giant stomped into the room, Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, he roared. Don't be silly, dear. You can smell the chickens I've just cooked for your breakfast, said the giant's wife, placing a plate piled high with 38 chickens in front of him. The giant had soon gobbled the lot. Then he lifted a golden hen onto the table and said, Lay! And the hen laid a golden egg. With a smile on his big face, he fell asleep, snoring loudly. Jack darted out of the cupboard, grabbed the golden hen, and ran out of the kitchen. He slithered down the beanstalk as fast as ever, and there, still standing at the bottom, was his mother. She was astonished when she saw the hen. Jack's mother bought a whole herd of cows and found a farmer to look after them. She bought lots of new clothes for herself and Jack, and they were very content. But after a while, Jack decided he would like to climb the beanstalk one last time. The giant's wife was not pleased to see him. My husband lost a golden hen the last time you were here, and she peered closely at Jack. But then the ground began to shake and tremble. This time Jack hid under the table. The giant stomped into the kitchen. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman, he roared. I would look in the cupboard if I were you, said the giant's wife. But of course the cupboard was empty. They were both puzzled. The giant trusted his nose, and his wife didn't know where Jack had gone. Eat your breakfast, dear. I've just cooked you 92 fried eggs, said the giant's wife, placing a plate in front of him. The giant had soon gobbled the lot. Then he lifted a golden harp onto the table and said, Play. And the harp played so sweetly that the giant was soon fast asleep, snoring loudly. Jack crept out from under the table and grabbed the golden harp. But as soon as he touched its other harp, it called out, Master! Master! And the giant awoke with a great start. He chased after Jack, who scrambled down the beanstalk as fast as he could with the harp in his arms. And as soon as Jack reached the ground, he raced to get a big axe, and he chopped through the beanstalk. The beanstalk tumbled down, and the giant that was at the end of him fell, crash, to the ground. Jack and his mother lived very happily for the rest of their lives. The bag of gold never ran out. The hen laid a golden egg every day, and the harp soon forgot about the giant and played sweetly for Jack and his mother. And that was the story, Jack and the Beanstalk, and they lived happily ever after. Now today I had the owl babies. They've come and joined in for a story. If you'd like a story, just put your name and I can get a book and we can choose the story together. Have a lovely Saturday. Hope you're staying safe, Stanley. Bye.